Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful idea that could pretty much change how you see, well, everything. From the most basic object in front of you to your deepest, most complicated feelings. It's this idea that so much of what we call reality is actually built on a foundation of unspoken shared agreements.
Okay, so to get into this, let's start with a really simple question. Just look at this object on the screen. We all know what it is, but what is it? Really? Let's actually break that down.
You see, our understanding of this thing kind of exists in layers. At the very bottom, you've got the raw physical stuff, right? Atoms of wood, metal, plastic. Then, on top of that, there's the name we've all decided to give it, chair. And finally, you have its function, for sitting on, which, and this is the key part, is something we've all just agreed upon. So, that simple example about a chair, it actually builds into a much bigger, much more profound idea. This whole world of names and agreed-upon functions, this layer of reality that we all live in every day, it actually has a formal name in Buddhist philosophy. It's called conventional truth, or samuttisaka in the original Pali. This is the reality that is literally built from human agreements. It's the shared story we all tell each other. The story that says this object is a chair, these little pieces of paper are money, and that certain things we do are good or bad. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this is the complete opposite of what's called ultimate truth. So if conventional truth is our shared story about reality, ultimate truth is reality as it actually is, before we stick any labels on it. It's just the raw existence of atoms, energy, and constant, endless change.
And we build this conventional world all the time, usually without even realizing it. It happens in two main ways. The first is naming things, or dan-che den. This is where we just give a label to a collection of parts. We bundle some metal and plastic together and call it a car. The second is describing things, or nia-che den. This is where we give that name qualities like fast, expensive, or maybe the most important one, mine. And bam, through naming and describing, we construct our entire shared world.
Okay, so if our world is basically just built on all these conventions, how do we actually see it? Well, the source material uses this absolutely brilliant analogy for this.
First off, you kind of have to accept a pretty difficult idea. Our senses, they don't give us a direct, unfiltered look at the world, not even close. Instead, what they do is they show us a version of reality, a version that's filtered through what you could call a dirty window. A window that's all smudged up with our personal biases, the language we think in, and all of our past experiences. So what we're seeing isn't the landscape itself, it's the landscape viewed through our own uniquely colored and smudged piece of glass.
So, why does any of this matter? What's the big deal? Well, it matters because mistaking that smudged, filtered view for the actual ultimate truth, it comes at a really, really high cost.
And here's the crucial point. So much of our suffering comes from the fact that we forget we're looking through a window. We start to believe that the conventions, the labels, the stories, the smudges on the glass are absolutely real and permanent. We cling to them like they're the landscape itself.
I mean, think about it for a second. We get so attached to things that are purely conventional truths. Our job titles, what other people think of us, our own ideas of success and failure, even our own sense of self, our identity, is really just a complex story we've woven together from all these different agreements. And when those conventions are threatened, it hurts. It hurts because we've mistaken a temporary agreement for an ultimate reality.
So what's the answer? Are we supposed to just reject society and stop using words? No, not at all. The actual application of this whole idea is way more subtle, and honestly, way more powerful than that.
See, the goal is not to shatter the glass. It's not about getting rid of conventional reality. We need these agreements. Shared ideas like chair and money are absolutely essential for us to communicate and just function together. That window is necessary. The real liberation comes from simply seeing the smudges for what they are. It's about being able to tell the difference between a useful convention and ultimate reality. Because once you understand the nature of these agreements, they just don't have that same absolute power over your emotions anymore.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to take away. What story, what label, what agreement in your own life are you clinging to as if it were an ultimate, unbreakable reality? And what might change, what might open up for you if you began to see it for the powerful, useful, but ultimately man-made convention that it truly is?